Welcome to Tell the Damn Story, the show that explores the many ways to navigate the successes and failures that aspiring and struggling writers face to make your journey that much easier.
Hey, Alex Simmons, what is going on? How are you? I am so excited for today.
Yeah, I can tell.
Telling the damn story. We're going to be telling more than one damn story today. We have got such great guests, but Alex, that's your part. How you doing, and who do we got today?
Boy, are you like pumped for this?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yes.
Then let me not make it go too. Hey, Chris, it's good to see you, but I'm even happier because you're happy. I'm even happier that we have on the show today one person who's returning, hasn't been around for a long time, but he brought a very special guest. So the person who's returning is Juan Espinosa. Yay!
Hello, everyone. What's up?
There you go. Now, Juan's nice.
Now, that's great.
Juan's a good guy. He does good things. He does great comics. That's good. But Juan brought his daughter, Grace. Yes, Grace Espinosa.
It's Take Your Daughter to the Internet Day. No.
Say hi, Grace. She's having
one of the best things about today is that Grace is not just here because she's Grace.
Yes, and she is great.
As a fellow professional. She's here as a fellow creator. So, ladies and gentlemen,
and you're going to find out what it is she created.
We're going to find that out, and we're going to find out there are no boundaries.
That's right.
You got it in your heart, put it on the page, get it out to the world.
That's right.
What today's episode's about.
And stay tuned for the end of the episode because Grace, in her gracefulness, in her most gracious way, will
graciously going to do this.
Yes, will grace us with some really good info that I think a lot of younger artists out there are going to find really useful. So stick around. Chris, I know you've got a question burning in your chest there.
First thing we want to do is we want to remind everybody.
What do we want to remind
of what Juan Espinosa has created?
Yeah, I guess we should.
We're not talking about Grace. That was mostly Mom. We're talking about what Juan creates.
Yeah.
He's got this great comic book. Now, when we think about comic books, we think about superheroes, occasionally a monster, something like that.
Some sci-fi.
Some sci-fi, a little dash of sci-fi.
Yeah.
Once in a while, some French fries running around all by themselves.
Yeah, with ketchup. Yeah.
But Juan Espinosa said, wait a minute. I'm going to invent a new corner of the comic book world. Juan, please tell us the name of your comic books and talk about it a little bit to refresh everyone's memory.
Sure. So my main comic book is Adventures of Assistant Admin. It is basically a story of a guy that gets hired into a company to prevent hackers from taking the data out from the company. So it's like a slice of life. It's based on my experiences because that's what I do for a living. So that's my main comic. And my company name is Bearded Man Comics, where I...
because of the beard, right?
Yeah. Bearded Man?
Yeah.
Right.
Bearded Man Comics, there's the beard right there.
Grace, if you take over the company, you got to grow
a beard. Yeah. I don't know. Bearded Grace Comics, I don't know. It doesn't quite ring the same way.
So
negative, it's going to be Puppy Hair Comics.
There you go. Nice.
Love it. Yes.
So when I first heard about the concept of Adventures of an Assistant Admin, I thought it was going to be a hard sell. And you were graceful enough, pardon the pun, to send us some early issues and episodes. And I was so thrilled about how engaging it was, how fun the art was, and how
diverse the characters were.
And it was just such a refreshing, relaxing read. And I really appreciate that you had the bravery to create a new path and just open up the comic book world a little wider, which is always really cool. So how many issues do we have of that right now?
How many issues? The thing is, I've been working on the last two of the second volume for a while. But out there, 7.
7, that's great.
And coming in about a month or so, finishing the 8 and 9, 7 and
That's cool.
8 and 9, yeah.
That's
8 and 9.
cool. Now, that's not the only title you have, if I remember.
No, that's not the only one.
So,
I also
let's talk about the Empire. Come on, Juan.
I also have a series called Mythology Stories. So those are stories, like mythology stories from the Dominican Republic.
Cool.
So I'm trying to present all the stories that my uncles, my grandpas used to tell us, and
That's
do a little research and then refresh my memory. So one that I already have out is called El Gallipote.
It's
What
easy
is
for
that?
you to say.
El Gallipote is like a werewolf, but basically it's a human that transformed into a werewolf to protect his land or his people.
That's
But
cool.
in reality, in the stories that I was told, the El Galipote was a bad animal, a creature. So he used to kill and eat people.
Right.
But
Monster.
I twist the story and make him a good creature that protects his own people.
Okay,
I think that's
that works
cool.
for me. Yeah.
I'm eager to read that one. So we're going to have to talk about where people can get these comics.
They can get it on my website, beardedmancomics.com.
There
They
you
also
go.
can get it
We'll
in
put it in the link.
Amazon or
Cool.
Apple eBooks. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, is it just those 2 titles, or we have another one that we're?
I'm working on a second mythology story, still not out yet. It's called La Ciguapa.
And that
Guapa?
means
La Ciguapa.
La Ciguapa.
So,
Okay.
so that's a lady that has a long hair all the way to the toes, and her feet are backwards.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
dated a girl like that. No, it was a long time ago.
He's Grace. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's not well.
So in the story, when I was a kid, it was told that she took the soul of the man that she went out with.
See,
So
this was my old girlfriend. I'm telling you, I had 3 years without a soul.
I'm going to mute you in a minute. You just go ahead, Juan.
So in this one, what I'm trying to do is there's a group of bad Ciguapa and good Ciguapa, right? The good one are trying to make it out in the world. Like they want to be accepted. They want to go out there. But because of the bad Ciguapas, they cannot make it because they see them, everybody see them as like bad creatures.
Right.
So it's like the fight between the bad ones and then trying to be in the real world, be accepted. So that's wow.
So it sounds like you have a little social commentary in there, because sometimes people look at one person as a representation of all people that are similar looking.
Right.
And yeah, you got some layers there to use.
And,
yeah, it's good.
I love your imagination, because it's rooted in family and cultural experiences or your own professional experiences. But then you say, all right, what can I do with it? And that's a key. The what if part is such a key of creativity. If those who are watching, if you take nothing else out of this episode, take that example from Juan, that see what you have. What do you have around? What stories are in you? What stories are in the family? What stories are in the culture? And then what can we do with that? That's that Grace. I might have to use the genius word on your dad. What do you think about that? Wham, genius. Now
there's another aspect to it. While he's being all imaginative and creative and culturally centered, he's also being businesslike, because he did not just decide, oh, I guess maybe I should draw this myself, write this myself, even though I don't draw, even though I don't know coloring. You reached out and pulled together a team. How did that come about?
So I find like my team, my artists and colors in Twitter.
Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I find a while back. I was looking.
So what was the first tweet? Was, hey, I need help. What did you do?
Actually, somebody tweeted their artwork, and I'm like, whoa, I like this style. Then I just DM them, and the rest is history.
Wow.
We
Did
Tell you
you
what.
run it past Grace first? I mean, did you get her okay on that?
nah.
Grace
He's so
Espinosa,
subtle. I like
secret
it.
CEO right there.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, and I'm not going to name names or anything, and God bless the people who I had the experience with, but you got luckier than I did. As I try to hire an artist. I've done two I was successful with, but a third one, they just kept changing the business deal. I'm sure yours was successful, but you always have to, here's what the deal is, here's what the contract is, and
And in
then,
writing, yeah.
yeah, and then
Yeah,
stick
we
to
got
it. So,
contracts
yeah.
since the beginning. Even though I was not sure I was gonna keep going, we did contracts for everything.
That's cool.
since
Yeah,
the beginning.
yeah.
Now,
So that's pretty cool.
another aspect, because I like Juan, so I want to shine as much light on as possible
Thank
before
Mhm.
into the curb. so
Before we
Great.
start focusing on the star.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Okay. So the other thing is, like I said, Juan didn't just stop at, I'm going to do it all myself. He pulled together this team. He did that through Twitter, saw their artwork. That was nice. He reached out to them. Where were they?
Spain.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
They're
Yeah.
they're
cool.
from
Oh.
Argentina, but they live in Spain.
And,
That's
and
cool.
you're a New York boy, right? Yep.
Yep.
You're in New York. He's now international on his first project.
How about that? How about
It's an original project and international, not only because of the people he's working with and who he is, but also and this is where my point's really coming across, is he didn't let anything that someone might thought or might think would be a problem to stop him.
yeah.
You know,
You always got to work the problems.
yeah, because you're working with a topic that doesn't have superpowers, and you're bringing the culture and family into it, as opposed to splatter and gore and a whole lot of high tech.
Right.
And then you're working across borders, across the ocean. That's
Yeah,
all
that's
some
really
great
cool.
coordination and really.
Thank you. Appreciate
Can
it.
I ask a question about the comics? Now, when you sent me a few or sent us a few,
Yeah, he kept
they
them.
were of course it did. They were mostly in English. There was some Spanglish, some bilingual. When you publish them, do you publish English language versions and Spanish language versions, Portuguese? What do you do?
Yeah, I do the Spanish as well, only digital, but I do Spanish. My wife is the one that translate the books for
That
me.
is really cool. See that?
Yeah.
Get the whole empire, get the whole family in there.
Money
That's
in the
good.
house. Yeah.
I'm trying to
And
get her to do mine.
she
Oh,
does
wait,
the
what?
same.
What'd you say?
I'm trying to get my mom to do mine in Spanish.
You'll
Tell you
win.
what, give her the big eyes. I know that usually. There you go. Oh,
Grace,
ma,
I
and
got
that'll
it.
be
Oh,
it.
there you go.
I got some inside info. I think she really likes you, so I'm pretty sure you're gonna get it. I'm taking a real wild guess here, but I'm thinking she is really on your side. So
You know,
we'll see how that goes.
the reason I brought that up is because, again, from a simple business model, look how quickly and in how many different ways this initial plan of yours has expanded. And again, this is one of those hopeful episodes where people say, wait, I can do this or I can do that. And for you to have the power to do it in more than one language, I can barely speak English. So I wish I could have my books in other languages, but it just hasn't happened yet. I have to, Grace,
Good
maybe
time.
put a word in with mom. Maybe she's translating my side. I don't know. So that's
Can you
That's cool.
translate? You speak Spanish too.
Yeah, but she speaks Spanish better than me.
Explícame.
Yeah,
it.
that's
How
all
does that work?
Yeah.
Wow,
They're
Oh,
saying that you speak
Grace is the
English better
best.
than me.
Because I was born speaking
Yeah.
English.
there you
Yeah,
go.
but you
Ooh,
are
guys.
very bilingual. Look at you.
Yeah, and there's an example of something else, Grace, that you've done that shows your bilingual skills. But we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Yes.
Are you finished interviewing Juan?
I want to make sure I didn't miss any projects that you're too humble to tell us about. Did we cover everything?
Yeah, pretty much,
from
yeah.
your
I know something
Okay,
he
so-
didn't mention. I
so-
know something he didn't
so-
mention. And
Okay, go ahead.
people will find out when they go check out your website, which we will make sure there's a link in the episode. But he also did merch. He did
Merch!
merchandising.
Oh,
He did merchandising
What kind of merch we got?
and promotional material. Yeah, go ahead.
I got Funko Pops. I got little standees, acrylic standees, stickers, hats,
Oh,
shirts.
that is cool.
Curious. Yeah.
That is very cool. That's good. That's good stuff.
Thank you.
I have yet to pull the trigger on that, and I really should. See that? You're an inspiration, Juan. I appreciate it.
No, one was not, and you should see them at a Comic-Con because it's definitely, to quote Sly Stone, it's a family affair.
Uh-huh.
They're all just working it. It is great. It is great.
So who drives the business? Do you do?
Yeah, I do.
I love that Grace
Yeah.
raised her hand. That's great.
I do most of this.
I saw the books.
There you go.
Yeah. How do you turn her down? How do you turn her down?
No, you can't. You can't.
Yeah,
going by the table.
she helps a lot in the conventions. She sells a lot.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So
I saw more than this guy over here.
Well, wait until you get the beard, Grace, and it'll really
Oh,
a little too young yet. When it happens.
so business decisions are all yours, Juan, or do you get your wife involved on that? Or
yeah, no,
Is it-
we work together. Yeah, when
That's
we're gonna
cool.
buy stuff or like what we're gonna create now, like we're gonna do like figurines or stuff that we talk and we work together on that.
Yeah, I rely on my wife a lot.
Yeah, she
all
is
that
very
stuff.
good with ideas.
Yeah. Mine's really good with saying, yes, go ahead, do that extra word. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Go
No,
ahead.
you know his wife's superpower, her unbelievable superpower is she will not only read something he's written one time, she will read it multiple times to help him
well,
get it right.
Oh my God.
I
There's
mean,
some things that she's
Eight
read
people
10
in my
times.
family to read my
Yeah.
stuff. You know?
Yeah.
That's good.
And she's a former pre-K teacher. You know what I'm saying, Juan? She's a pre-K teacher. The first thing I get is, oh, very nice. You need that for the ego. And then I start peppering her with questions. What do you think this sucks, right? This is terrible. This is right. And she's like, oh, no. All right. What is the Bearded Guy comics? And we have Bearded Man comics. Don't go to Bearded Guy. Their comics are inferior. It's beardedmancomics.com.
Yeah.
And and we have a couple of different titles, multiple languages on the ebooks. That's great. Merch.
Sir.
Is it time, Alex?
Yeah, I think it's time. I know I've been waiting, so I know the audience must be chomping at the bit, as it were. So, like I said, it was a family affair. So take it away, Chris. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Grace, first of all, thank you for agreeing to come on. We don't get a lot of natural stars on here, but you're lighting up the screen today.
Yes,
and
you are.
We know that there are creative things that you have done. So I'm not sure which direction you want to go in first, but can you tell us what you've been involved in, Grace? And if I remember correctly, I know it's impolite to say a woman's age, but if I remember correctly, you're 44. Is that correct?
I think you may be off by, I don't know.
Am I wrong?
Maybe off by a few 30.
Like 30 years.
So, what are you at 11?
She's going
10,
to the
12?
double digits.
I'm going to double digits next month.
You're going to be 10 next month?
Yes.
Holy wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And
Alex's glasses are older than 10 years old.
Right.
So at 10,
no, she's at 9 right now. She's at 9.
Sorry. Excuse me. 9. At 9, oh my God, I'm ashamed of myself. I haven't done anything at 9. But Grace, at 9 years old, what creative project did you undertake?
I really wanted to be like an artist of any kind, really as a singer, a dancer, anything. But what really got me was like my dad's books that really inspired me. So I was like, oh, I want to write a comic book. During quarantine, he taught me how to write it. We stopped when we could go outside the house and everything.
Sure.
But I still had that stuff in my head. So I just went along, used all those lessons and started writing.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Wow.
It's wonderful when the creative ideas are in your brain. Did you develop the ideas further before you wrote, or did you start writing right after COVID?
It took me like a year or two because I was trying to figure out which two books, because I had another book idea in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So it took me like a year to finish the writing and try and get it finished. But then after a year, it was better, and I totally forgot about it until like last year. Then I started writing all over again.
That's cool.
I-
Sometimes it
again,
happens like that.
Chris,
Sure.
I think you said that it's Stephen King who said when the idea won't go away, when you can't forget.
Yeah, Stephen King says he hates the idea when people like write every idea they have, write it down on the paper, because that's the way to immortalize bad ideas. He says, let them fight it out in your head. And I was so thrilled when you started saying I had to think about it for a while because I had 2 book ideas. That is great. And it's also great business because now you're greasing the wheels with Dad. If the other one still sticks in your head, you tease them a little bit. There's more in here, Pop. Yeah. So tell us about the book that you did finish. Do you have a title for it?
So the title is The Multi-Eyed Lady because the main character is a woman that has multiple eyes. So around 12 it was? 12 eyes.
Lies. I remember her.
Like
She wouldn't date me.
Yeah, you dated her too, right? Was it
So what does this?
the Greek mythology character? What is it? The thousand-eyed man. What is it? What's the character? Come on, Chris, you should know this.
His name is Lester.
No,
Yeah, from Greek myths.
Yeah, what is his name though? I can't remember it. Oh no, I want to say Osiris.
Cyclops was the one with the one eye.
One eye. No, but
right, and his brother Lester had all the rest of the eyes.
I'm gonna hurt you. This was a thing where this creature was created to keep an eye on another god who was doing foul things. So this thousand-eyed man never slept completely because some of his eyes were always watching.
Oh,
And
wow.
I cannot for the life of me remember the name of this character.
Yeah.
So anybody out there in the world who's going, oh, Alex, how could you forget such and such? Write it in, please. Thank you. But anyway, there you go. So you got this one with 12 eyes.
We have
I
12
actually
eyes.
do read a lot of mythology, so that's also where I got it with mythology stories.
There you
I
go.
just had all these in my head. I was like, I want to make a mythology story, but what I made wasn't really mythology. It was like half mythology, half superhero.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. Superheroes are modern mythology, aren't they?
Yeah.
So 12 eyes. Are they all on her face? Are there some on her hands? Is there one on her
they're
foot?
all on
What are we
her
talking about?
face.
All on her face. Okay.
The 2 regular eyes and 5 over her eyebrows.
Okay.
Like each of the eyebrows, like 5 here, 5 here.
So what is her? Does she have a job? Does she have a mission? Does she have a goal in life? What's going on? Does she have a name? Is her name Lester?
Her name is Guadalupe.
Guadalupe.
Oh, okay.
It's like basically her goal is to fight all the bad guys in her area,
Okay.
or just like in that country, in that state, in that world.
Ooh.
And she has like a crew to help her. It's her husband and some of her friends. They have a tech person. I got that idea from my dad.
Yeah, why not? Dad,
And I
There you
watch
go.
way too much Marvel. So
That's okay. That's okay. I watch
that's
way
kind
too
of
much
where I got
Marvel too.
everything from.
A little older than you. I had a buddy of mine, and we both believed we could draw, but we believed it. In those days, they had a thing that they probably still sell them, but they called it the Nothing Book, and it was like a hardcover book, but the pages were blank. So we would draw and create characters, and then put the master drawing in there and a little description of the characters. And years later, I found it in every single one of the characters, with the exception of one my buddy made. Every single one of them was a ripoff of a Marvel character. It was Fire. Who did he sound like? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
Iron
stretch
Man.
guy. Stretch guy. Yeah, yeah.
By the way,
So-
the Greek character is named Argus.
What? Argus?
Argus. Yes, Argus.
Yes.
I think one of my friends mentioned him before. We were like talking in class, not talking in class, but talking during like a lunch period. We were all talking about mythology because I was telling them about Papi's book.
Sure.
And so we were talking, and he was like, I heard this Greek mythology about a man with 1,000 eyes.
Yeah,
So we were just talking about that for an hour.
yeah. It's a lot
That's
to
beautiful.
talk about. Yeah.
That was
And I
good.
like that she was talking
now-
about Poppy. She was
Yes.
Poppy, she was talking about
That's good, Ken. When you're as part of the team and you're part of the company, you can do a little PR even during lunch period. This is great. Little public relations. That's
Little
beautiful.
promotion there, yeah.
Yeah, promote
Yeah, I
now.
sold one of your books I not sold, but like my dad had a few books that he didn't really want, and they were taking space in the closet. So he gave it to me. He's give it to your friends. My friend read that book in 3 seconds. Asked me, "What's the website?"
There you go. Very cool. Very cool. Let's
How did
talk
you?
about Guadalupe.
Yeah, I was going to ask too.
Did you
about
write
how
the
she
whole
got it. Yeah.
script? Did you write the whole script?
I did write the whole script, except my dad helped me with the panels because I didn't really know how to do that.
Yeah.
But other than that, all the script was me.
Yep.
So now, when your dad taught you the panels, did you write it in that format?
Yes.
That's so cool.
He was showing me how to do the panels. My brain at the start, it was like panel 1, okay, one person talking, panel 1. Second person talking, panel 2. But then he was like, no, you gotta put them together.
The scene, yeah.
There's one shot, over the shoulder shot, there's a 2 shot, there's
But
there's so much you can learn. That's
but what
great.
she was thinking was that she had to use a panel for each person.
Yeah.
But you work that out. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then
Yeah.
as you're developing,
Dad knew.
you'll decide, I want this to happen, so I'm gonna break it up this way and all that. Now, what happened next? You finished the script. Did you let Poppy read it?
Yes. So I finished the script. I showed it to my dad.
Did you give him
I
a cupcake to
had
ease?
shared it with my mom and my dad, so it was like
Okay.
both of them could read it.
All
My
right.
dad did most of the help. My mom read it out
The
loud.
comments, right?
Yeah, like the comments.
Tips.
My mom read it out loud. She didn't really have that special thing that dad had.
But
Not
mom,
that constructive criticism. Hers was like, okay, so you need to fix that part. Wouldn't
That's
explain
good.
it to me, but you need to fix that part.
that's
But
okay.
my dad was like, okay, you don't understand? Text me. You don't understand?
That's cool. That's very cool. That's very cool. It's great to have that support. Even when mom just says you have to fix this part and leaves you alone to your own creativity, that's one style. And then Bobby saying, okay, he can do it this way, do it this way. That's really cool. So you can compare. I used to show my art to my parents, and my father would go, don't you want to get a job? And my mom would go like this. I have to get here you go. This was my mom. She would just roll the eyes. So yeah,
Support is a great thing to have.
this is really great. This is really great. So where are we now? Have we moved past the writing stage? Is Bobby going to let you in on any of his connections as far as artists are concerned? Will he publish it through Bearded Man Comics? We don't know. Or do we have a non-bearded girl comics? I don't know.
How did the art happen? What was the next step?
Do we have art?
So
Yeah.
what happened was we got the artist. We were doing it. It was fine. He just needed a little past the deadline. But then it came to us. We asked for line art because I was gonna color it. Some of the parts weren't line art, and some of the characters, in one photo, they would be one thing, and in another photo, they would another panel. They would be like a whole different person.
So
doing
the
that-
look wasn't consistent.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then now we asked him to redo some stuff, but then he still needs more time. And since we gave him like so much time, it has been like 2 months, a month, or something like that. And it's not done. So
Yeah, we decided to part ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
so now we have a new artist.
And yeah, this artist seems more into it. Like he's looking for more detail. Like you want to understand like every single thing so he can create a better.
Mhm.
That's very cool.
So hopefully
This was all on like
online. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all
online as well.
online. It wasn't on Twitter like he found his. It was on a whole different.
Yeah, because I was trying to use my regular artist, but he has so much in his table that it was gonna be for like next year. So since she was already into it, I didn't want to like just stop there, and so I decided to look for somebody else. Because I promised her, like, if you finish it, whenever you finish it, I'll look for the artist and I'll pay and I'll
That's very
so,
cool.
so I didn't want to just stop
You didn't want to
there.
let her down. Wow, what a
Yeah,
dad. Yeah, what a
Yeah, that's
concept,
pretty cool.
right? Yeah.
Now,
Well,
I don't want to put any pressure on you, Grace. Father's Day is coming. That's all I'm saying. He's been pretty good this year. That's all I'm saying.
yeah.
No, when he
Grace,
told me he would find the artist and pay for it, I said, "Can I get that in writing?"
oh, oh,
I asked him, "Can I get that in writing?"
Yeah, that's true. I remember.
That's
I remember.
great. That is great.
so stand-up comedy is in your future too, I see.
Oh, yeah, that is so great.
I
What a
wanted to ask
businesswoman.
you,
What a businesswoman.
I wanted to ask you, Grace, when the art was coming from the first artist, when the art was coming in, how did you feel, or how did it make you feel when you saw someone drawing your words for the first time?
It made me feel really happy. I liked the art that he was doing. It was very nice, but I just felt like really out of order when the characters didn't look like the
Yeah.
previous page.
Right, yeah.
Or yeah, that was
That let you down, huh?
messing up my flow.
Yeah, well,
I got you.
okay.
Yeah.
I hear
Don't
that.
let anybody mess up your flow. That's another lesson
how
from Grace.
How did you choose your second artist? This new
So
person.
we just got him like yesterday, I think
Yeah.
it was. And so now he's like trying to get more details, trying to get into it. And then, so now it's making me feel like really way more excited because the other one, he didn't really ask for that. He was like, straight up, what you wrote here, just put it onto a page.
Yeah. And we got a bunch of like samples from this one too.
They were
So,
like
yeah,
20 pages
hopefully it
of
works out.
samples.
Yeah, because it is very
That's
good.
great.
And there
That's
were like
great.
a lot of reviews from other people, and there were photos from other people showing their artwork, showing the artwork that he had
Yeah,
done.
they posted
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
from stuff that he's done. So,
How did you find this person?
it is online. Well, at first, I found that in Instagram, right? And then he has I don't know, a store or a page in Fiverr too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
Well,
Yeah,
people were
Oh, that's a
posting.
nice, yeah. We'll come back to Fiverr in a little bit. Yeah.
the guy
No,
who did this cover and another cover for me, I got him out of Fiverr.
Oh, okay.
I think he's living down in Argentina. But
Cool.
really, he did an adjustment for me on that cover. Just matter of fact, I just got it tonight. So yeah, a little expensive. You got to pay. If you want better than stick figures, you got to. So I want to promise that of Grace, if you don't mind, Alex, and we'll let Poppy come too. But when the 12-eyed woman issue comes out, will you come back and show us and talk to us about the whole rest of the experience?
that I wanted to make my own podcast and do stuff like that.
All
Like,
right. I
if
can
we
take the
doing that,
competition.
I'm
I didn't know
down
we were
for
going
it.
for competition already.
I'll definitely do
Mr.
that.
Line, wait a minute. You just missed another great Grace line here.
What was that?
Would you repeat that again, please, my dear?
I'm down for that. I'll sure do it.
Yeah.
I'm down for it.
Yeah.
And there goes our entire audience.
Yeah, right. Right over to her. That was it.
Are we gonna listen to those two old guys, or are we gonna
Yeah,
listen
no,
to the
Grace
Grace
is
show?
even
Yeah.
cooler. You know, she's got good comedy.
Now, so if you have time between your writing and your own podcast, will you come back and show us the finished product?
Of course I will.
That's
Oh,
excellent.
well,
That's
thank you.
excellent. Now, Alex, if I remember correctly, Grace isn't done with her creativity.
Oh, Lord, no. Oh, no. Grace, like
No.
chock full of creativity and personality too.
Oh, definitely. I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
Juan, you're good.
Oh, okay.
I love having you on, Juan, but I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
Grace, Alex was kind enough to show me this entire different art form that you've been dabbling in. This project was very interesting, but I don't know that much about it. Could you explain to everybody what this project is?
This is, I think it was the trailer.
What? The trailer, yeah.
Yeah, the trailer of Coki Wiki, which is like a kids website that shows kids how to care about nature or how to treat nature, because some kids or people in general will throw trash on the floor or litter, And this is a website that Coki has that she's showing everybody, oh, hey, stop this. We should help the environment because later on in our lives, we might not have the same thing, the same materials as we do now. Waters will be polluted. We won't have gold or minerals in general if we keep polluting everything.
Very
That's
good. And what
brilliant and
is
really
Coki?
beautiful to
What is
say.
Coki Wiki? What
Coki
kind of?
Wiki.
Like what animal?
Ay, Dios mío.
It
It was a frog.
There
was
you
a
go.
frog.
There you go.
No, because I'm like, I know what type of frog it looks like, but I don't know if that's the
It is actually based on the coqui frog, which is out of Puerto Rico. Coqui or something like that's the way it's spelled, its actual spelling. But coqui for this character is spelled Coki. And the
We
web-
actually had a presentation in my school during Hispanic History Month. So we had a presentation and they were talking about Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cuba, everywhere. And they actually mentioned that one specific frog.
there you go. Yeah. There's
And they
big
had a
story
song
behind
about
it.
it and everything.
Oh, we have a song too. As for those folks who are not as for, you're gonna get the website link in the show notes as well. It's coquisworld.com, but we'll put that in there. You can go there and you'll be able to see and hear the song and see the little trailer that we did. And Grace is part of that. Grace is
that's what we're
part
going to
of
get
that.
to.
Is what, Grace? What did you do?
I am Coki.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm the
You're
voice
the
of
voice
Coki.
of Coki.
Yeah, that's what she said. She's the voice of Coki. Yeah, yeah.
That
And
is
is
cool.
this the first time you've been the voice of Coki?
We tried before, but that didn't really.
Oh no,
We
it
recorded it, but it didn't really.
yeah,
didn't
yes,
vision
it did. It's on the website. What was it that you recorded?
We recorded. It was like, oh, it was.
Giving you a hint here. Yeah.
Voice
It was a voice.
Look at Alex.
Well, yeah, like a
Yeah,
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
we were getting a call, and so Coki picked up, and we had a conversation.
With who? Do
That's
you
very
remember?
cool.
You remember the character?
Oh my God! I know she's best friends with Greenie. That's what I know.
Yeah, and you met the lady who created
Yes.
this character.
I met everybody. I just forget the
Put
name.
you on the spot. I forget. Yeah, it's okay.
All right. Does Poppy know? Maybe get some
No,
help from Poppy.
I'm just gonna
throw a
give you-
lifeline. What
gonna
I
get it
want to
quick.
know,
Well,
when
hang on,
I
let me-
saw
let
the
me throw the
trailer.
name in there. Let me throw the name in there so she
Well,
can.
I'm throwing to you here in a second. There was a whole cast in the trailer.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. We had.
Do you remember any of the voice actors you worked with?
That's
I
what
know
she's trying to
Les-
recall.
I know Leslie was there.
Yes,
Anybody?
there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Please
Leslie.
remember.
Yes,
Yeah.
there
Who?
you go.
Leslie was there.
Hmm?
I'm pretty sure that was Alex's voice.
There you go. That's
I'm
right.
pretty
Ladies and
sure.
gentlemen, Alex Simmons is in on this project as a voice actor. That's right. And
And
I'd
then
like to
there's
thank
another
you
voice.
for keeping him busy. Is
Yeah.
anything we can do to keep Alex Simmons off the streets? It's just it's safer all around. You know what I'm saying?
What you were asking, Grace, is there's Leslie Carrera-Rudolph, by the way, is Leslie. And Leslie Carrera-Rudolph is also the voice talent of Abby Cadabby on Sesame Street. But the character that she and Grace interacted with in the previous project was Lolly Lardpott.
Lolly.
Yes,
Yeah,
Lolly.
I have like
Go ahead.
40 pins.
Excuse me?
I have 40 pins upstairs and I still forget the name.
Yeah, that's okay. It's all good. You and Lolly don't get to hang out that much. But that Lolly is a puppet character that Leslie created, and they've been together for years. Leslie is the voice on the phone call with Lolly and Coki, which you did with her a year ago. And then this time around, you did the voiceover. And again, Leslie is a voice of the narrator on this trailer, and you're the voice of Coki. And yeah, I threw in another voice. You think there's another person who's also in there?
I have no idea who was. I just know that person had a very deep voice.
You mean he talked like this?
There you go.
So you did two voices.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So I did the other two voices. Yeah. But so we had a great time with that. And really, you should take a moment and thank Juan. And your lovely wife isn't in the scene with you, but should really be thankful to the both of you for letting Grace be a part of not only tonight, and not only the Coki trailer, but also she's been a great part of the Kids Comic Con, which has been really enjoyable. And it's wonderful to watch Grace grow like this. She is a really super talented person, and I'm really thankful that you two support that. It's so important.
It's a beautiful thing to see. And
Speaking of which, it's getting dark where you guys are.
that's right.
Yes, it's getting dark here.
So we're going to wrap up. What do you think,
But
Alex?
one quick thing that you mentioned earlier, Chris, you got them to mention, which was what was the thing that they used to help guide them?
This was the tip that everybody who wants to create comics might benefit from. And it's a secret that Grace has about how she learned how to make comics. Now, Bobby, very helpful, but you understand, Grace, in a student, you need a book to study from. Can you recommend to everybody out there who wants to fulfill a dream like Grace, what book might they be able to use to help them learn how to make comics?
It was actually one of Alex's books that I used.
Shameful plug here.
The Art of Making Comics.
The Art of Making Comics by Alex Simmons.
Yep. Yeah, that's actually a very good book for like beginners or kids that are actually just starting. They can use that. And there was another book we used with panels in it that actually also helped show you how the panels format is or different ways to put the panels.
You remember the name of that?
Alex's book was like one of the most helpful things. Like I think that he has two in there. One was for like more adult, and one was for more like me.
Okay, cool. I'm not mad about it.
That's how I started as well. That's the same book I used.
There you go. See that? 2 generations of great comic creators that utilized Alex Simmons's book, The Art of Making Comics.
My job here
launch their empire. There you go. That is very cool.
Great. So this you gave us a great tip. Thank you. And I hope anybody out there will have a link to Amazon where you can get the book, and so that'll be there. We'll have a link to the Coki's World website. That'll be there. We'll have a link to Bearded Man Comics so that you can see what they already have out. When can we hope to see Grace's first edition? When is that going to be? Is it going to be the summer? Is it going to be the fall?
Maybe summer-ish fall type of thing.
Yeah, I will say the same. Like
late
end
August,
summer, beginning of fall.
Okay, so late August into September, right around comic book convention time.
Yeah.
You'll miss San Diego this year, but you can get it next time around. Yeah,
that's cool.
Okay.
So I also hear podcasts with my dad, Comic Book Club, and this podcast is one of the most helpful podcasts I have ever heard to help me make the books and everything.
Best.
We listen to it driving. We listen to it driving to work and driving back home.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Like this one is the main one I listen to. Like I'll be snoozing on the other ones, but this one's the main one.
People are not going to believe that she's talking. They're going to say, how much you pay the kid to say that?
Real. Like you can look at that podcast. If you look at it, your podcast is one of the ones that we listen to in the car. And that's the main one I'm going to listen to.
Thank you.
That made my whole week. Oh my God, that's fantastic.
My month is made now, boy. And I had a birthday a few days ago. I thought that was the pinnacle. This is it. This is like I said, my work here is done.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
On the way here, we were listening to the Comic Book Club.
That's the main
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's great. Either way, thank you both for coming. You're going to come back when you get closer to a debut date and talk it up. we'll keep everybody posted on all the other marvelous creative things that Grace is going to be doing, and Juan too. You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
And thank you so much for taking the time. Like I said, it's getting dark where you are, so we should.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap it up. But again, this has been a great episode, and I'll give you equal billing. Juan and Grace made this episode really
Let's see if I can
fantastic.
get this happening.
Mostly Grace. No, I'm just kidding.
I
there
really
it is.
appreciate
There's
it.
the
Oh, God.
There you
Thank
go.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
too.
much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.